Welcome to this year's BC Virtual Science Fair celebration. We're all so excited to have you today. I'm going to be your host, Emily, and I'll introduce myself in just a little bit. So, this is me. My name's Emily Gubsky, and I am currently beginning my first year of UBC medicine. I did study a combined major of computer science and microbiology before. I'm also a CWSF alumni, so I did the Canada-wide Science Fair 2 years. I did New Brunswick, and then once again in Regina back in 2015 and 2017. I've had a great experience throughout science fairs and have always really loved participating and watching and helping out and organizing. I've made sure to stay connected as I've gone through my education further on because I feel that they are a really valuable aspect of our community. My story, essentially, science fairs is where it really all began for me. Once I started moving into the more science and STEM-oriented fields, I found that science fairs really encouraged me to continue my pursuit for more knowledge and for science. The science fair community is one that's really close-knit and amazing, and it was always just so incredible to be able to see the community come together for something that we were all really passionate about. Science fair really offered me a friend group that also valued the things that I valued. It offered me a place where I could be considered on my merit. And that was something that I found truly inspirational and truly amazing. My projects generally consisted of research in essentially identifying certain proteins in the HIV process, and that's kind of what I was focused on. But we're not here to talk about my projects. We're here to talk about your guys' projects. So, welcome. Later on, we're going to hear from our chair for this year's Virtual Science Fair, Jessica, and she's going to explain a little bit more about the fair and what's going on and why we're hosting it this year online. People probably know why it's online. But first of all, I think that it's really important to have a territorial acknowledgement. So I would just like to acknowledge that today's event and the learning that we've been going through so far is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. Wherever your regions are may have different locations and different traditional unceded territory, but we are hosting here from UBC and from the Greater Vancouver area. So I think that it's really important to be able to offer that kind of acknowledgement. So welcome. Today we're celebrating your guys' achievements. You guys probably know Jessica. She's coming in next. She designed this whole fair. She was the one that's been communicating with you, with the sponsors, with the mentors, with the students, the parents, and teachers. She's always incredible. You can't ask her to do it all over again. She's incredible. Amazing. She takes full responsibility for any fault in my program, and I will gladly give her all of that glory. She's one of the most amazing. Oh, I just pulled that in. All right. So this here is a little bit of a really cool word cloud that one of our teams set up. What we did here is that this is a word cloud of the most common words used in the project titles this year. So I think that it's really neat. If we take a look at what's going on here, we can notice that a lot of the projects this year were focused around plants, water, learning. Drone was a word that was used a couple times. A lot of the projects that we noticed were actually fairly environmental based. And I think that that was something that was really cool. Jessica's also going to talk a little bit about this slide a little bit more once in her address. So we're not going to worry about it as much now. But I think that it's just really cool to mention and to take a look at this slide, as it is a really good representation of what is going on this year at our virtual science fair. And so without further ado, we're going to hear our talk from Jessica Zhang. So I'm going to set her up here.
These are not normal times. Usually, I would get to speak with you like this. But now you get to see every wrinkle, every uncontrolled micro-expression that I may or may not have intended. At least as I'm presenting, I can be in a very small little box in the corner. I'm Jessica, the program manager responsible for the British Columbia Virtual Science Fair at the Science Fair Foundation in British Columbia. First of all, congratulations to all the students. If you're not a student, thank you for joining us today to show your support of our grade 4 to 12 students from across the province of British Columbia. Now, this is how I'm imagining you as I'm delivering this address. All anxious, clammy hands, wondering if you might be able to walk the stage and shake our hands, take your awards photo, and walk home with an award. I know you're all looking forward to this exciting slide, but first, let me tell you about my science fair project, the BCVSF. Honestly, I was expecting around 20 to 50 participants. So it was such a great surprise to get 195 students to register for our fair. And participation is fairly even between all the different age categories, which is also wonderful to see. As well, we had participation from all 12 science fair regions within British Columbia. This is amazing to see the projects from all the different regions, including Pacific Northwest, East Kootenay, South Fraser. So where are you guys from? The people who are watching, which regions are you cheering for, and or which students and projects? You can leave a comment in the Facebook thread so that we can see, and other people can also, get excited with you. Here are the self-tagged project categories that the students provided with their projects. I told them to tag them with as few categories as possible so that we can make as close of a match as possible with a mentor who is knowledgeable in that field. As you can see, we have a large split between biology and environment, which is really wonderful to see. The students are looking to solve problems that are close to home, with the environmental protests that happened last year, that actually inspired a lot of the science fair projects that the students made this year. Here's a word cloud of the 170 project names. I think Emily will go over this as well. It was just so wonderful to see that our mentors are also so passionate about all the different letters within STEAM. So for those of you who don't know, STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, which is digital arts and design, and mathematics. Speaking of our mentors, we had mentors from over 60 organizations join us. It was so wonderful to see so many members of the community come together and just look at what organizations they're from. I mean, this is incredible. We have experts in almost every field. So, the fact that people like doctors and entire directors of different research organizations and PhD students and, science fair alumni from the Canada-wide and international science fairs, and like all of these wonderful people join us to help support the students in their learning. And let me tell you, there are project names that I can't even pronounce. Like there's one on the ocean's albedo, I'm really not sure. And plenty of projects that are way too complicated, even in the elementary category. So I don't understand, half the things they put into abstract. So this fair is entirely possible because of these mentors and these volunteers in the community who have provided their time and energy to support the students through the written feedback that they've provided, as well as through the video calls that they've conducted with most of the students who joined the fair. Most of the students did opt in for video or teleconference interviews. And so over the last week, they were able to connect with several of these mentors and really have a conversation about their project. Here's some of the feedback that the mentors gave. I just finished another interview. What a nice, rewarding experience talking with a young future scientist. So I'm really, really glad that our mentors also had a wonderful experience. And students, you should be very, very proud. You've inspired so many people this week. And here's some of the project interview feedback from the students. So and the parents. So I was told someone just finished his meeting with John, and John had provided amazing feedback just over the video call already. And that feedback can feed right into the students' next design for their science fair project. There's so many of these, I can't possibly fit them all onto one slide or 2 slides. So, I'll be publishing a more lengthy report of the science fair project in the coming weeks. But, I just want to say thank you so much to all the different mentors who participated. These are, we went through, I think, almost 300 meetings all in 1 week. So mentors spent anywhere between 15 minutes to half an hour with each of the students, talking them through the project and then asking them questions and providing real-time feedback, as well as building new connections. Some of the students have emailed me telling me they've gained insight into university, career opportunities, and ways they can further develop their project. Others met mentors that will be able to help them through their projects, through the next development of their projects for future years. So this is just such wonderful surprises to receive. As well, I really want to give special thanks to these amazing people: Anne-Marie, Ara, Devin, Emily, Gabby, Howard, Janice, Jeffrey, and Robert. Without you, this fair would not have been possible. So thank you all so much. Also, very, very importantly, I want to thank all the different volunteers that help out with science fairs, and they're the organizers, they're the mentors, the judges. They're the ones who, try and inspire the students to do a science fair project throughout the year. And over here, we have less than 20 of them. These are some of the volunteers with the Greater Vancouver Regional Science Fair. That was, I cannot say how much I appreciate you. So last 2 years, I was actually chair of the Greater Vancouver Regional Science Fair, and this team was amazing, so tremendous. And even this year with the virtual science fair, quite a few of the people in this photo actually helped out. There's Howard, there's Janice, there's Emily, there's Robert. So it's just so amazing to see the community come together. And the cancellation of the 11 regional science fairs has affected not just the students, but also the hardworking organizers that run these science fairs throughout the year. Most of them are teachers throughout all the different regions. And I know teachers have been really, really severely impacted by COVID-19 as well. They've had to do a lot of innovation, which their job might not have prepared them for. And it's just been such a crazy time for everyone. So I want to thank all the teachers who have helped their students with their science fair projects and really encouraged them throughout the years, as well as the ones who have been organizing science fair projects, science fairs rather, throughout the years. I want to do a special shout out to Justina Chan. She is a teacher at Charles Tupper Secondary here in Vancouver, and she's the organizer of the Vancouver District Science Fair. It's because of Justina that I had the audacity to think that I could organize a virtual science fair while working part-time on my own with the help of volunteers. Because Justina organizes a district fair at Langara College every year for over 100 students on her own. So you are incredible, Justina, and it's really, I was really inspired by you in terms of this, putting on this virtual science fair for the students. So thank you. And now I think I can hand it back to you, Emily, to go on to what the students really care about, the awards.
All right, so that was Jessica and her address. I think that we should all make sure to give her a thanks at some point. She's put in so much work and so much effort into this fair. Her work is actually incredible, and I think that she's just one of the members of the community that we need to make sure that we're really cherishing and appreciating. And now, oh, yep, good, awesome. So just before I get into everything, there's a whole lot of tech going on here. We're making sure to try to keep everything working smoothly. So if you do notice issues, you are free to let us know in the comments, and somebody will reach out and make sure that everything's sorted out. We're just getting everything set up. So for the awards, I know that this is why everybody is here, and so we want to make sure to give you guys what you want. But before then, I'm just going to go over how it's going to look and also just a little bit about the awards. So first, I need to make sure to mention this fair is a non-competitive fair. The whole premise of us here is to connect ideas. It's to offer the students an opportunity to present the work that they've spent so long working on, and to make sure that they are actually being offered support and mentorship for their work. It's really here for students to come together and to come together with the scientific community and to really experience that mentorship aspect. I think what everybody learned throughout this fair is so much more valuable than potentially some of the awards that we can offer here. You learned how to think. You've learned how to address a legitimate issue and then look for legitimate solutions. You've learned how to pace yourself. You've learned how to take your problem and break it down into smaller problems that you can then tackle individually. And I think that that's something that's super important to point out. We are so, so proud of you guys. Another thing that I'd want to mention is that the science fair community is one that is beyond words amazing. The students that we've seen come out of science fairs are usually so, so smart and so, so strong, and they go on to fields that only some can imagine. And then even then, once they've gotten into those fields, the students that have gone through science fair have picked up a new way of learning, have picked up a new way of looking at the world. They don't shy away from challenge. They don't shy away from problems. We look towards problems and then we tackle them. We know that if we don't know how to handle something now, there is a plethora of information out in the world, and we know how to access it. We know how to set up a question, set up a hypothesis, and proceed to go through the steps to answer our question. There's something that's really amazing about the students that we've seen come out of science fairs, and I just want to congratulate all of you for being a part of that community. It's something that not everybody gets to do, and it's something that not everybody gets to be a part of. And I think that it's important for you guys to just give yourself a pat on the back now and just understand how incredible of a group you guys are. So for the awards, I know that that's why everybody's here. You will notice as we go through that the East Kootenay region didn't get quite as many awards. And the reason for that is because they already had their local fair before the pandemic kind of shut everything down. So that's just something to note as we go through. Because at that point, COVID wasn't as big of an issue and as big of a threat. And so they actually got the opportunity to go through their fair. We're here to offer an opportunity for all the regions. The way that the awards are going to work, they're not sorted for any particular reason. Some are by region, others are by grade level. So no need to worry about that. The award recipients will be listed by name, project level, and their school. I will be reading out the names just in the interest of time. Please make sure to cheer on your region as they're coming along and your schoolmates in the Facebook comments. We do really, really miss being able to sit there and feel the anticipation in the crowd and be able to see the people shaking hands and cheering and getting excited for their teammates. So just make sure that you are still maintaining some sort of that energy in your Facebook comments. And as for the order in which they'll appear, we scrambled it all. So you'll just have to stick around and see. All right, and as I start the awards as well, we do have a Slido set up so that you can ask us questions. We're going to take in these questions and answer them at the end during our question and answer period. You'll find the link to the Slido in the Facebook description for this event. So do make sure to click on that and ask any questions that you have, and we'll make sure to get to them at the very end of the presentation. All right, and so now the event that you guys have been waiting for. Let's go to awards. So the first award we have is the WorkSafeBC, and these are a $50 cash prize to students, and we award up to 2 per region. They're to be awarded to an outstanding project demonstrating the principles of occupational hygiene. The students must have consulted with people in the community or region about the content of their project, and the students must show creativity, innovation, and enthusiasm in the display of the project. And so The people who have won this award from Fraser Valley are Evia and Gerline. Congratulations. The people who have won this award from Northern BC is Max. Good job, Max. We're going to keep going. From Greater Vancouver, we had Alicia and Alex. From Vancouver Island, we have, I'm going to stand on this part, Brooke and Keenan. And the last Fraser Award, or the WorkSafe Award, is for the South Fraser region. And we have Sirkab and Sejan. So congratulations, you guys, for the WorkSafeBC Awards. Those are all amazing. We're super excited for you. And next, we're actually going to have a talk from Sandy from Science World. So I'm just going to get that all set up. I'm going to mute my microphone.
Hello, participants in the very first BC Yukon Virtual Science Fair, and hello to your family, friends, and teachers, as well as to the science fair folk who made this event happen. My name is Sandy Ikes, and I'm the Director of STEM Learning at Science World in Vancouver. Like all of you, I've been working and learning in a completely different way since the middle of March. My desk is an ironing board, and my cats interrupt all my online meetings. I've had to learn so many new digital tools. I've been checking out what you have been doing over the last few months. Wow, you're an amazing bunch of students. Today you're joining the awards ceremony from all over BC and the Yukon, from small towns and big cities. For some of you, this was your very first science fair experience. Others are seasoned experts. You've done projects on topics like microplastics and multidimensional topology. You've made antiseptic gel bandages from natural ingredients and paper from peanut shells. You've investigated hummingbirds, crabs, snakes, as well as safety equipment and hockey gear. But what you all have in common is that you are curious. You ask great questions, and you use scientific tools and processes to look for the answers. I was also a curious kid, and I grew up into a curious adult. One thing I asked a lot of questions about was light. Where do colors come from? How is it that nothing could go faster than light? What happens when light hits stuff? These questions led me to study physics at university and even to do a PhD, where I was making computer models of fiber optics. I was fortunate along the way to have great teachers and mentors to help me learn the skills that I needed and to point me at new opportunities. A science fair is one great way to find those mentors. Light is still one of my favorite topics in physics. Over my time at Science World, I've had the opportunity to bring so many exhibits and shows about light to our visitors. Maybe you know the shadow wall, which shows the science of phosphorescence, or the infinity floor, which uses mirrors to create the illusion of a bottomless pit. I have a super creative job. I get to work with experts from many, many disciplines to understand and share ideas about how the world works. But I don't need to tell you that it's fun and rewarding to ask and answer questions scientifically. That's why you're here. But the ability to ask and answer questions scientifically is also very, very important. As we are all quite aware, our world is facing some big complex problems. Not just the pandemic, but climate change, food security, and social justice, just to name a few. Solving those problems is going to require all of us to be good at understanding data, creating models, thinking logically, collaborating with others, learning from our mistakes, and evaluating and communicating our findings. Guess what? Those are all skills that you've been learning and practicing as you do your science fair projects. So the very fact that you're here today means that you're part of creating a better future for yourself and for the world. There are almost 200 projects featured in the virtual science fair. I find that incredibly inspiring. It makes me feel like the future's in good hands. So please, keep experimenting and learning from your fails and sharing your discoveries and taking on the tough problems. Keep on being scientists. Keep on being curious.
Thank you so much, Sandy. That was an amazing, amazing address. And I definitely agree. I think for myself, science fair and my projects in healthcare were definitely the reason that I ended up pursuing a career in medicine. All right, so let's keep going. For the next award, we have the BC Agriculture in the Classroom Award. So the way that this one works is we have a $65 cash prize to the student, and we have up to 1 award per region. And the qualifications for this one is the award is to be awarded to an outstanding project that shows the practical application of scientific principles in agriculture. So are we excited to see who it is? I think we're excited to see who it is. I'm excited. So for the first award in the Greater Vancouver region is Jonathan. Good job, Jonathan. And now we're going to keep going. The Vancouver Island region, we have Malik. Congratulations, Malik. We're going to keep it going. For the Pacific Northwest, who do we have? We have Lucia. Good job, Lucia. And we're going to keep it going, keep it going. For the Northern BC region, we have Kenna. And the last region that we have is the Fraser Valley. And who do we have from Fraser Valley? Are we excited? Please tell me if you're excited in the comments, because I am super excited. We have Priam. Congratulations to everybody who's received the BC Agriculture in the Classroom Award. We're so, so proud of you, and we're so excited to see what you go on to do. And so now, we actually have at this fair a couple of prizes. Now, these are not determined based off of your projects. They're randomly selected. So I'm going to show you guys how we select the first round of prizes, and then after that, I'm just going to rattle them off. So I'm just going to cue that Ernest Ice Cream. Here we go. I'm going to mute myself.
Thanks, Emily. Let's do our draw for the Ernest Ice Cream gift cards. These are super exciting. I would love to have some Ernest ice cream right now. Now, let's see. We're up to row 100 for all the participants from Greater Vancouver. Now, this is for location in Greater Vancouver. Hence, we're doing this draw just for those in Greater Vancouver. And the first one who won is number 4. That's William. Congratulations, William. Oh, very cool project. Next winner is number 96. Let's see. Gabriel, Tree Volt. Awesome. The next one is number 21. And that's Edwin with BioStraws. And then number 47. Maya. One of the projects that I cannot pronounce without practice. Now, is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we have one more winner. Number 27. Justin, Charge the World. Perovskite? Okay, but that sounds really cool. Congratulations to the winners of the Ernest Ice Cream gift cards.
All right, so that's a little demonstration of how we're doing the little spinning and award generation. We do notice a couple questions in the chat, so make sure to send those over to the Slido just so that we can actually address them all together. And for that particular question of Northern Vancouver Island, grouped under Vancouver Island, no, the Northern Vancouver Island is a separate region. So we're going to keep going and actually do a little presentation here. So these are the award winners or the prize winners of the Ernest Ice Cream gift cards. Congratulations. I'm pretty jealous. I myself want some Ernest ice cream. All right. And so next, what we're going to have is the BC Game Developers Innovation Award. And so this one sounds pretty exciting. So let's get into the details. We have a wonderful game developing hub in BC, and they use a lot of creativity to create some of the world famous games. And so the award here contains a $50 cash award to the students and up to 6 awards per region. And they're to be awarded to students whose project demonstrate creativity and innovation in computer science, mathematics, engineering, or astronomy. This one's really exciting, and I'm really excited to see what kind of projects actually won this award. All right, and so for the Greater Vancouver region, are we excited? I'm always so excited. Okay, we have Amy, and Angela. Congratulations. Those sound like super interesting projects. For the Greater Vancouver, we have a couple for Greater Vancouver, you know, when we have lots of projects. We have David and Keon. And the last set for Greater Vancouver is Leo and Thailand. Congratulations, guys. We're going to keep going into the Central Okanagan. And just as an FYI, I apologize if I'm saying your guys' names wrong. I'm trying my best. If I'm saying it wrong, feel free to let me know in the chat and I'll try to take a look. But anyways, moving on. For the Central Okanagan, we have Marin and Regan. For Fraser Valley, we got Christina and Gerline. Another set from Fraser Valley, we have Himani and Naftaj. Good job, guys. And now from the Pacific Northwest, we have Katie. Good job, Katie. Very cool project. I did check that one out. All right. And for South Fraser, who do we have? Fazan and Robin. Good job, guys. Some more from South Fraser. We have Hassan and Gurik. And the last set from South Fraser, we have Mankirat and Simrat. Good job, you guys. Those are all super amazing. And let's keep going. So we have from Vancouver Island, we have Josie and Ethan. Good job. Some more from Vancouver Island. We have Nicholas and Nathan. I hope you guys are getting a chance to read through these titles. They're all very, very cool. More from Vancouver Island, we have Shreya. Good job to all of those from Vancouver Island. Congratulations. Congratulate your peers, you guys. All right. And so now we have from Caribou and Mainline, we have Adam. Good job, Adam. What a cool, cool project. I do hope you guys get a chance to take a look. They're all very, very amazing. All right. And so I agree. Somebody just said that the project titles sound amazing. I agree with you. They're incredible. All right. So now we're going to go in to our talk from AbCellera. So now we're going to hear from Tess, our research scientist. How exciting is that? I really hope that lots of you go on and continue in your exploration of science and STEM. All right, so I'm going to continue here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tess, and I'm a scientist working at a company in Vancouver called AbCellera. First off, I'd like to congratulate all of you on the fantastic work you've done on your projects. You should be extremely proud of the hard work you've put in and all of the interesting ideas you've come up with. I'd like to share with you some of the work that I do as a scientist. At AbCellera, we're interested in how the immune system has evolved to protect us from disease. What is unique about our technology is that it allows us to scan the immune system for natural molecules that keep us safe and healthy. Our immune system produces molecules called antibodies. These are Y-shaped proteins that attach to foreign invaders such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites, and protect us from disease. Right now, our scientists are looking for antibodies that attach to the coronavirus, which causes COVID-19. To do this, we perform experiments on blood samples from patients that have recovered from COVID-19. We use our technology to do a Google search of the immune system and find the antibodies that can stop the virus. In the future, we can make large amounts of these antibodies as a medicine, and we can help those that have been affected. My favorite part about being a scientist is being able to solve different problems and making an impact on human health. As a scientist, it's important to think outside of the box and explore new ways of doing things. Not every experiment works, but even the failures are an opportunity to learn and get us one step closer to a breakthrough. Another awesome part of being a scientist is meeting others, sharing ideas, and attending meetings and conferences, just like this science fair. Most importantly, I really enjoy my work, and I'm so excited at what we have been able to achieve working together as a team. As the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators, I encourage you to keep being curious. Ask as many questions as you can, and take the time to observe the world around you. Continue exploring your passion for science and have lots of fun along the way. From all of us at AbCellera, we wish you the best of luck on your journeys.
Thank you so much, Tess. That was an amazing address. AbCellera is one of those companies that anybody studying both either computer science or microbiology or both or either are actually always vying for. So is Stemcell. Those are just some of the couple high-paying positions that you might want to go into as a scientist. I did get a mention that I did miss one name on a partner project for the BC Game Developers Innovation Award, and I do want to make sure that I acknowledge both participants, Leo and Thomas, on your project from Greater Vancouver. Congratulations. All right, so now, continuing, we have our BC Nature Award. So this one's pretty exciting. We have a $50 cash prize to students and up to 3 awards per region. And we want to make sure that these are to be awarded to outstanding natural history projects completed by students in grades 7 to 12. This includes studies of any aspect of natural history, conservation of natural habitat and/or natural species. Outdoor nature monitoring or conservation projects are strongly encouraged. So that's what we have there. So this is the BC Nature Award, and we're going to take a look and see who won these awards. How excited are you guys? Super excited. Woo! Okay. This is usually so much more fun with a live audience because I can feed off of your energy, but I'm just reading the comments and so excited that everybody's just cheering each other on. So heartwarming. All right. And so from Vancouver Island, we have, who do we have? Wishva, Bowen, and Aaliyah, and Audrey. Congratulations to all of you. We're so excited. Good job. Now we're going to keep going. From the Pacific Northwest, we have Sebastian and Lucia and Sasha. Good job, guys. And for Northern BC, we have Claire. Congratulations, Claire. Let's keep going. From Northern Vancouver Island, we have Heather. Congratulations, Heather. Oh, I'm just going to double check to make sure that we do see the screen. Yep, okay, we're good. All right, and so from the Greater Vancouver region, we have Jonathan, Mark and Mihailo, and Gabrielle. Congratulations, guys. Next, from Fraser Valley, we have Gurmanat and Priyam. Good job, guys. And our last set from South Fraser, we have Musa. Congratulations, all. I'm so proud of you guys, and those are our BC Nature Awards. And so now we're going to hear from Stemcell Technologies, from Juan Ho, yes. Very, very cool speaker, an amazing talk, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear it. So I'm going to cue that up now.
Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe and healthy under this COVID-19 situation. It's weird to do a speech this way, but trust me, I can imagine many enthusiastic faces in front of me. I'm Juan Ho, Senior Scientist at Stemcell Technologies. Over this past weekend, I quickly went through all of the projects you guys made. I'm so impressed by the curiosity and the creativity you all have. There is one project called The Effects of Music on Sourdough Starter, caught my eye. I think it's very creative because it connects music to science. As a personal note, I love both music and science. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do at Stemcell and what we have been doing during this pandemic at Stemcell. Hopefully this story can inspire you to become a future scientist. At Stemcell Technologies, we made products to help scientists all over the globe. One type of the product is called media, a type of liquid that contains all the nice goodies such as vitamins and other nutrients. With this specialized liquid, cells from the human body can be taken out and grown outside of your body in this liquid. And then they can form into many mini organs in the dish. Then scientists can use these mini organs to do lots of things, such as testing a potential drug to see if it can cure certain diseases like a cancer, or killing viruses such as the COVID-19 coronavirus. In early January, Chinese Center of Disease Control used this specialized liquid we made to grow human airway cells in a dish. They successfully grew the COVID-19 coronavirus in these human airway cells and published the information very quickly. This allowed the scientists to develop the antivirus drug and the vaccine in a very fast paces. This liquid product is not the only one we have. Stemcell have many other products that have been used for the research fighting with COVID-19. As members of the scientific community, we are so proud to contribute to the body of scientific knowledge that will ultimately help us end this pandemic. While we hope we will never see another pandemic, we are proud that everything we are doing could have a worldwide impact one day. This is why we are doing it. We are scientists helping scientists at Stemcell Technologies. Science has become an increasingly important part of our society and will be of even greater importance in the future. This science fair is a great venue to nurture you into a future scientist, and I hope you all have successful experience of learning through this science fair event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juan. That was a very neat talk, and she's totally correct. What she's talking about, the media, I've actually used countless times throughout my projects and throughout my research jobs as I've gone through school as well. I spent an entire summer working by developing gut organoids, and we used the media to grow them. An incredible talk. All right. If you guys do have questions about talks or about anything realistically, do remember about that silo sheet that we have set up. We are so excited to answer anything that you guys may have. All right, so moving on, we have the BC Science Teachers Award. This one's pretty exciting. It's to award $50 cash prize to students, and we have up to 2 awards per region. I know everybody's excited, everybody's waiting. Okay, so these awards are to be awarded to projects from grade 7 or 8 for an experimental project in any category that has clearly presented a hypothesis and independent controlled variables. And so now we're going to move into our awards. This was a pretty tight constraint, so we'll see how it goes. So for South Fraser, we have Shelby. Good job, Shelby. Congratulations on your project. For the Greater Vancouver region, we have Samantha and Ayan. Congratulations. And lastly, for the Vancouver Island region, we have Matthew and Sophia. Congratulations to all the winners of the BC Science Teachers Award. Yes, so exciting. All right. And next, we're going to go into the Engineers and Geoscientists BC Award. This one's exciting. We have a cash to student, and the amount varies by region. So we have $20 to $60 each. And this is to be awarded to an outstanding engineering project. So projects eligible for this award include those in the field of chemical, civil, electrical, environmental, industrial, and mechanical engineering, as well as system design. So we're going to go into these. But before we do that, we're actually going to hear a talk from Arlene from OSI. And she is a systems engineering manager. How related, how cool. All right, so I'm going to queue up Arlene from OSI. I'm going to mute myself.
Hi there, my name is Arlene McConnell and I am the Systems Engineering Manager at a company called OSI Maritime Systems in Burnaby. At OSI Maritime Systems, we make integrated navigation bridge systems for a lot of different types of navies around the world, including the Canadian Navy. If you're wondering what is a bridge system, well, basically the bridge system is how the officers on board the ship navigate the ship. So what it is, it's a lot of computers that get together and take in lots of different sensor information and make that available to other parts of the ship that need it. And it allows the navigator to do things like plan safe routes and do lots of other cool things like helicopter landing, safe helicopter landing, and a bunch of other different kind of cool stuff. We integrate with a lot of different sensors, so we integrate radar systems, GPS systems, gyro systems, inertial systems. We take all the data from these systems, we fuse it all together, and we make sure that the vessel can safely navigate without grounding or colliding with any other vessels as well. I was looking through the projects and I was really impressed by how much these projects resemble what we do at OSI. I looked at Ruben Lee's project of building a drone, and I could see that they were also integrating a gyro as well as creating their own power boards and working out what communications protocol they needed to talk to everything in. That's very much similar to what we do at OSI. A lot of what we do is gathering all that sensor data and making sure that everybody's speaking in the same language by translating it all and then distributing it to everybody else. I was really impressed by Maren Fold's video as well. Maren was looking at different wind turbine designs and their efficiency. I was really impressed by how they presented their information. Everything was very clear in the graphs, everything made sense. And I just thought that the overall description of what they were doing was really clear. A number of things that you folks are doing today are like directly applicable to what you might do in the future as an engineer. Everything from all the creativity that's gone into all your reports. I always say that engineers like look at a river and can see their way across without ever having seen a bridge. So a lot of engineering is about creativity. The attention to detail. I was reading one of the reports by, I think it was Ethan Steen, and the level of detail they went to in describing each step for using their railgun was really impressive, including don't forget to set the frame rate for your video recorder as well. So the attention to detail was fantastic. And overall, I was just blown away by like the variation of the designs. And I could see that you guys had a lot of fun doing these projects. And I hope that you can really understand how similar this is to coming and working for a company like OSI, which I really hope to see some of you applying in the near future. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Arlene. What a cool talk. What a cool job. Can you guys imagine? Oh, my goodness. Amazing. All right, so now we're going to keep going into our Engineers and Geoscientists BC Award. So for the Vancouver Island, and this has the most number of the awards. We have 9 awards at $20 each across all age categories. So for the Vancouver Island, we have Stephanie and Ethan. Congratulations, you guys. Next set, we have Shreya and Nicholas. Congrats. Next up, we have Elliot and Sophia. Congratulations, you guys. What cool projects. My goodness. Next, we have Maika and Malika. Those are fun. They rhyme. Anyways, keeping going, we have Margaret. Good job, all of you. That was so, so cool. Now we're going to move on to our Greater Vancouver region. We have Lucy and William and Rowan. Congratulations, you guys. Very, very cool. Next up, for Greater Vancouver, we have the junior category for $40. We have the intermediate category for $60, and in this case, it was split between the two partners, and the senior category is $50. All right, so for Greater Vancouver, next up, we have Amy and Wendy. Congratulations. Up next, we have Fraser Valley. For Fraser Valley, the junior category had $50 prizes and the senior category had $50 prizes. So for the Fraser Valley, we have Gurmanat and Nikki for the junior and the senior category respectively. For South Fraser, each category was $50, and for the elementary category, we have Ryan, and for the junior category, we have Hassan. Congratulations, you guys. And for one more, for the senior category of South Fraser, we have Robin. Good job, Robin. And lastly, for the Caribou and the Mainline, for each award is still $50. And for the intermediate category, we have, oh no, I'm missing a slide. Well, I'm going to announce now, and I'll pull up the slide afterwards. We have Jode and Adam. Congratulations. I'm going to do one quick thing and just switch back to the video as I make sure not to reveal anything too exciting, and just refresh my slide deck because I know that we had an update in the award slides, and I just want to make sure that you guys are getting all the correct information. And so I'm going to set that up. Oh man, what a time. You guys, this is the first time that I've done both technology and emceeing for a science fair. I have 5 screens set up right now. Alrighty, so here we are. Just gonna present that. Perfect. Here are our award winners for the Caribou and Mainline region for the engineers and geoscientists of the BC Award. Congratulations, you guys. And now going back to the last award, I did notice that one of our slides didn't have both partners listed for a project, and so we just wanted to make sure to give them a shout out. For the BC Agriculture in the Classroom Award for the Vancouver Island, we have Malik and Bira from Vancouver Island for this prize. Congratulations, you guys. And so now, going into a pretty exciting award, we have the Vancouver Rask Martha Pierce Award. And so this one's pretty interesting. We have a $50 cash award to the student, and we have up to 10 awards across all the regions. And this is to be awarded to outstanding astronomy or physics projects that demonstrate creativity, innovation, and contribute to the greater public understanding of science. Congratulations, you guys. So let's take a look at who's winning these awards. These ones are pretty cool. Like, look at the logo. My God. All right. So from the Vancouver Island, we have, who do we have? I'm going to do a little drum roll this time. We have Josie and Keenan. Congratulations, you guys. For the Vancouver, again, from the Vancouver Island and from Greater Vancouver, we have Nathan Hellner and Angela. Congratulations, you guys. I'm going to keep going. These ones are both from Greater Vancouver, Jonah and David. Congrats. And the last 2 slides for this one, we have the Greater Vancouver, Yolanda and Perry, and Lucy. Congratulations. And lastly, from South Fraser, last but not least, we have Fauzan and Jasmine. Good job to all the winners of the Vancouver Rask Martha Pierce Award. I'm so proud of all of you guys. And now we're going to have a pretty cool talk from a CWSF alum and also somebody who participated in the ISEF the ISEF International Competition. We have Austin Wang. Very, very cool. So we're going to hear about his projects. So I'm just going to get that queued up. Austin. There we go. I'm going to mute myself.
Thank you for having me here today. My name is Austin. Many of you probably don't know who I am. The last time I participated in a science fair was 4 years ago. but today I wanted to share with you a little bit about my journey. Science fair, at least initially for me, was this mandatory grade 8-9 activity in which we had to come up with an idea that wasn't microwaving worms or making potato batteries. This was a little bit disappointing because I like batteries. Luckily for me, when I was scrolling around the web for some ideas one day, I found out that bacteria in mud could do the same thing. They could also generate electricity. So I dug up mud from different parts of my neighborhood and stuck them in these containers with these wires running through them. And lo and behold, they do generate electricity. It's great. I was pretty excited, joined my regional science fair, but unsurprisingly, didn't do so well. Now at this point I could stop because science fair stopped being mandatory going into grade 10. But I decided to continue because I was curious. I was curious about why the bacteria that I dug up from my backyard generated more electricity than the bacteria that I dug up from the banks of the Fraser River. So I got in touch with some professors and researchers, and we began to brainstorm ways to find the bacteria that are good at generating electricity. We eventually used the DNA inside my mud samples to try and identify these bacteria. With this project, I got to represent BC at the Canada-wide Science Fair in Windsor, Ontario. And at this point, I could stop again, because how far really can you push a dirt battery? And apparently further, because I began to wonder what made certain bacteria good at generating electricity versus other bacteria. More specifically, which genes do those bacteria have that allow them to generate more electricity? After a lot of discussion with my mentors and a lot of trial and error, we eventually came up with a method to identify genes that can boost bacteria's ability to generate electricity. After identifying these genes, we began to wonder whether we can use this knowledge in some way. So using these genes, we developed communities of bacteria with superior electricity generation capabilities. With this new project, I had the privilege of representing Canada in Phoenix, Arizona as part of the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. If there's anything you can take away from this, it would be don't underestimate the dirt battery. But more importantly, don't underestimate your own projects and ideas and where your hard work and persistence can take them. Best wishes, and I look forward to seeing where all of you will take your projects. Bye-bye.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Austin. And a little bit about Austin, actually. He is a recent graduate from Princeton University with a degree in computer science, and Austin has inspired many. His legacy at his high school, David Thompson Secondary, lives on through his sponsorship of the Austin Wang and Dr. Jim McEwen Innovation Award, a scholarship provided to science fair students at David Thompson to encourage them to continue with projects beyond the mandatory phase in grade 8 and 9. I think that's incredible. His legacy is so interesting, and I definitely understand. For me, my first science fair project was in grade 7. After that, I never had to do it again, but I continued to push through because of just how amazing the experience was. So definitely a huge shout out to Austin. All right, so keep going. We have, these ones are super excited. We have our Innovate BC Young Innovator Scholarship, the award. This is our largest award. We consider ourselves a non-competitive fair, but we recognize that some students are graduating this year and won't be able to participate again. And so we still wanted to give out the scholarship so that students near graduation could use it. So let's hear the details. This one's very exciting. We have a $2,000 scholarship award to students. We're allowed to give up to 3 across the regions and to be awarded to grade 11 or grade 12 students who have developed a science and technology innovation with the potential to benefit British Columbia. To receive this award, he or she must be enrolled in a full-time in a science and technology program in a post-secondary institution in British Columbia. So this one's really big. We're super excited to offer this one, and we do really want to make sure that the person who gets this award goes on and continues to explore, continues to learn. And this goes for everybody. Congratulations to everybody so far, and we are very excited. I'm going to pause for a little bit of tension. Are we ready? And the winner of this year's Innovate BC Scholarship is Adam from the Caribou mainland. Congratulations. Let's just take a look at this project, The Shapes of the Future, Increasing Electrode Efficiency in Electrolysis. Congratulations, Adam. We hope that you can use this award to make paying tuition easier on in your undergraduate career. So, now, you guys have been hearing about this, maybe not. It's been kind of kept as a secret. We have a very special speaker now. And I'm very, very excited to provide Tom Cavanagh. So if any of you watched The Flash, you guys will know Tom as somebody from The Flash. He's an actor, a producer, and a director. He's best known for his role as the most intelligent character on the TV series The Flash. And that is actually filmed in Vancouver. Surprise. And he has kindly recorded the following message for all of our students. So let's take a listen to Tom Cavanagh's speech. I'm just going to pull it up, make sure that everything is working, mute myself.
Hello and welcome to the VSC. What is the VSC, you ask? It is the Virtual Science Celebration. My name is Tom Cavanagh, and I want to commend all of you, maybe not all of you. There's probably some people who are watching this who weren't the students who took the initiative to conduct independent studies, enter the virtual science fair. Those are the people I'm talking to. I want to, for those people, I have to say, I am overwhelmed by your intelligence, your inventiveness, your go-get-emness. And I have to apologize to you that because of the COVID virus, you get a guy dressed like this, like me, instead of some fancy person in a suit and tie having a formal celebration. But listen, let's not have that take away from our VSC, Virtual Science Celebration. I am just honored to be in the presence of such, like I say, intelligence that I have to tell you, frankly, I find a little annoying. Because there's no getting around the fact that you're 40 years younger than me and 40 times smarter. I don't like it, but because today is the VSC, let's move past it. As some of you may know, I actually play a scientist on television, a television show called The Flash, a superhero show where I play Dr. Harrison Wells. Like you, I have an interest in science. I have a science degree. And when we do all the science equations on the board in the cortex, I'm able to say, hey, wait, you're using the Taylor polynomial series to solve that equation? That's not right. I know you know what I'm talking about. People are like, you're annoying. See how that works? And I do that when I'm not playing also this guy, who's the reverse Flash. And he's not that handsome, but he has a voice like this. That voice is very compelling when singling out names, which I would like to do right now. Single out a few names. I've read all these projects, and once again, they're all incredible. They're all inventive, and they're gripping and so fascinating and interesting, so that I feel like the world with you is in incredibly good hands. I look at Jose Miguel, who I do a show that talks about spatial dimensions. His whole project was talking about shapes that exist in spatial dimensions. I was like, very good, very impressive. Keep going. Or every time we run in and out on the Flash, we use all this wind. And I read a project by Marin that basically Marin is the woman, the girl who more efficiently harnessed the wind. That's how you have to do that. She more efficiently harnessed the wind. Or Angela. Now listen, Angela did a project, an investigation into dark matter. I spent season after season saying when the dark matter was released by the particle accelerated explosion. And talking to you, Angela, was like talking to family, right? Or Milo, things are rough in the world right now. Milo came up with some technology that could take us into near space with no carbon emissions. Brilliant. Yes, annoying. Brilliant. all of you, look, the fact that we're doing this virtually is because of many of the problems in the world. That's the reason that you get a guy dressed in a gray t-shirt like me. And I apologize for that, but I also want to say, when I read through these virtual science projects, I I am so encouraged because I know that the world going forward is in such incredibly competent and good hands, your hands. Congratulations to all of you. I wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you so, so much, Tom. And we love our gray t-shirts. We know that we'd rather be in person, speaking to all the finalists, just shaking hands, getting excited. But we make the best of the situation that we got. And that's what's amazing about us. We adapt, we grow, we just fit the mold, and we fit out of the mold to whatever we have to deal with next. So we just want to thank Tom for taking the time to speak to the students. And we can't wait to catch season 7 of The Flash. All right, and so now we're just going to go in to do all of our prize draws. You've already seen how they're drawn, so I'm just going to flash up the names of the students who won these awards, and we'll go over how to claim them a little bit later. So, for the Mahoney Award, it's the Art of Casual Consumption, we have Christopher and Maria. For the Beatty Biodiversity Museum, the family membership, we have Jonah. For the Museum of Anthropology, the $75 membership, we have Ruben. For the Royal BC Museum, for the admission and the books, we have Malika. And for Triple O's, the $12 $25 gift cards, we have Malik, Sophia, Natalie, Emmanuel, just gonna make sure, Paige, and Juan. Good job, guys. And we have a couple more because we have 2 slides. We have lots of these. We have Brett, Seja, Ryan, Isabella, Nicholas, and Gabriella. Next up, we have our Clark Wilson prizes. We have $10 $20 Visa e-gift cards. These are cool. They can be used anywhere. We have Yolanda, Keon, Alicia, and Alina, and Mary. And the second set of these prize winners is Hongi, Nathan, Maya, Henry, and Sahil. Congratulations, you guys. Those ones were our randomized draws. So you kind of get away with anything. It's amazing. All right. And so now that technically concludes our awards ceremony. Congratulations to all the winners. We're so excited, but don't leave yet. We have a very special science show coming up for you guys, and it's so, so interesting and so exciting, and I'm so excited for you guys to see it. We technically have, oh, yes, it's no longer at noon. We kind of went a little bit longer, so we'll do it at 12:25. But we're excited to see you then. In the meantime, we're going to do a little bit of an intermission and Q&A, so feel free to come back at 12:25 if you don't have any questions. If you do have questions, stick around. Share them in the Slido, and I'm going to go over a couple of our FAQ. And I just wanted to make sure to just thank everybody, thank the students for all the work that they put into their projects. The reports that we saw this year were incredible. I've actually seen worse presentation in university. You guys are doing amazing. You are above your peers, above the group, above the standard. And so thank you so much. Make sure to recognize how incredible the work that you guys have put in is, and to celebrate that with each other, with yourselves, with your team, with your classes. Good job. And I also do want to make sure to thank parents. I know that students did do their own projects and it was all incredible, but parents, without you guys, this would not be amazing. Quite as amazing or possible even as what we have today. You guys are driving to wherever superstore to buy peas and carrots, and you're going to the hardware store to buy the things that the students need to put together their projects. You're taking students from extracurricular activity to extracurricular activity, and just the amount of effort that you guys put in is truly clear and truly visible. So thank you so much to all the parents of all the students and participants this year. Just incredible. The work you guys do are amazing. All right. So I'm going to do a couple of FAQs now. So first of all, the question was, when will we get the feedback from mentors? So you will get your feedback from mentors within 7 days. Worry not about it. You will get it soon. How do we collect our awards and prizes? This one is a little bit trickier because we aren't in person, obviously. For the prizes that are virtual, such as the e-gift cards and other things like that, those will be emailed out to you soon. And the ones that are physical, we'll send to you via snail mail. You'll get it. Don't worry. You will get your prizes, get your awards. We are so excited for you guys to see those. Your parents have provided your mailing addresses as part of your registration, and so we have those already. As a STEAM professional, how can I help out with this and other science fair initiatives? Thank you so much for reaching out about it. Join our mailing list. Follow us on Facebook. We'll be doing a call out for interviews of STEM professionals or STEAM professionals to be able to show students from across the province what different paths look like. We also have a year-round mentorship program for science fair students, and it's getting an upgrade for the fall. So make sure to reach out. We want to interact with you guys as much as possible. We want to make sure that you guys are getting engaged in the community and helping out. Thank you guys so much for coming. So I'm going to take a look now. When will the rankings be released? All right, so the way that it's working here is we don't have a rubric base because it's a non-competitive fair. However, as we go forward, we do have a voting base, and what will happen is that you guys, as a student, you will know your position in the ranking if you've opted in later on. So that will be, we will reach out to you privately about that. So we're not publishing anything like that to the whole group. This is a non-competitive fair. However, if you have opted in to do your ranking, we'll reach out to you a little bit later. Yeah. Other questions? I've talked about how to collect prizes. Let me check the group. All right. So yeah, so we'll have our science show come on in 3 minutes. So we're going to try to get them all set up for now. In the meantime, if people have questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be able to get to those. Yeah. What else is happening? So we actually have a show coming on from Science World. So they're going to come and put on a show for the students. That's what else is happening. We are really excited about this one. These are always really incredible, and they always blow everybody out of the water. So make sure to stick around to see those. What other questions do I have? Where will you find the link for the science presentations? That's a good question. If you go to the silos, to the question platform that we have linked up in the Facebook post, there's a link on the side, well, I guess on this side, and that's where you'll be able to see the BCVSF public viewing. So make sure to go there. Can you answer the question about Genome BC? Genome BC, what's the question? Will other awards like Genome BC be given out? So no, so for us, these are the awards that we'll have. The virtual fair, unfortunately, doesn't get all the funding and all the sponsorship from the GVRSF. That's not how it works. And so we've actually had to reach out to different sponsors and 2 award givers to make sure that we could actually transfer them over. So this is all we have for you guys tonight. It all is also a non-competitive fair. So the fact that we have awards is just a plus, because that's kind of the nature of science fair students. We know you guys like to win awards. We know that this is something that's really motivating for students, but these are all the awards that we're handing out for this fair. What other questions do we have? I talked about how to collect your prizes. So no, we are not going to announce publicly the top 7 from each grade. All we're doing is, if you've opted in for the ranking, we're going to present that to you privately. So Science World is going on in 1 minute. We're super excited to see them. We're all super excited to pump in. I'll come on after their presentation, and we could potentially finish up other questions or just do a little chat and finalize everything. Are we excited? We're so excited. I'm so excited. I love the Science World shows. They're just always so mind-blowing. We have 1 minute coming up. What about the lower mainland? Interesting. I love your guys' comments. I love reading them. Just going through them is always so fun. All right, so it's 25. Take it away, Science Show.
We did it. Welcome. Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Stefano. We're here at Science World. Thanks for joining us. What a pleasure to have you here virtually. Before I do anything else, I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are here at Science World in Vancouver on the traditional and unceded territory of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nation. And I encourage you to look at the story of the land where you are. Speaking of which, where are you all? I would love to get to know where you're from, and we have a great opportunity here on Slido to do some back and forth throughout this show, and I'm going to encourage that wholeheartedly. Let's start with going into Slido and entering in the chat where you are listening and tuning in from, and I would love to do some shout outs to all you fantastic folks out there. So you guys start on that, and I'll start on some of the show stuff. Before we go anywhere, I want to tell you that this show today is called The Science Surprises Show, and my name is Stefano, Science World, all those things are going to hopefully roll in together with some fun for the next 20 or so minutes. Now, I've got a few folks with me today, live in person, and we always make sure safety is number one here at Science World. We usually have a nice safety zone in front of the building, and in front of the stage rather, and we have done that with you by placing you comfortably in your homes. So you're doing a great job so far. Good job. Here in our building, we've got Brian on camera, and we've got Jeff on computers. Hi, Brian. Hi, Jeff. They're keeping physically distance from ourselves, and Brian can zoom in when necessary. Hey, Brian, give me a zoom in. Nice job, Brian. That's the logo. And again, encouraging you to tell us where you're from so that we can enjoy that. Part of being here today to celebrate you and all you've done and all the fantastic science that you guys have all explored is also I want to say a thank you to one of the associations that have groups that have helped us be here today, and that is Windsor Plywood. Without their help, it would be a little trickier for us to make this happen. They actually make it possible for us to get all over the province with things like the on-the-road school touring program and community science celebrations that we've occasionally bumped into you folks at, which we love. So we were hoping to be able to do that more into the future and not just do this virtually, but that's what we're doing today, and I'm pretty stoked about it. Who here is excited about some science? Pretty sure that's a rhetorical question. That's you guys. So I am as well. What I've decided to do for the Science Surprises show is to frame it around the weather, because it's something that unites us all. We all take vested interest in it, and of course it affects us all, and sometimes differently. And you've done some fantastic projects. In fact, I want to do some shout outs right now. Marin did a great one about the girl who harnessed the wind, Sahil, Solar City, Regan, Silver Lining of Hurricanes. These are some fantastic projects, weather-based, so I thought I'd just roll with that. Sajin, air pollution, Jasmine, cloud chamber, Lucy, shuttering out the storm, Emery, here comes the sun, and more. So great on you for that, and some amazing projects that I've had a chance. I'm noticing here on the chat that we have some folks that are chiming in on where they're from. Brian, who we got?
Well, we got people from Prince George.
Prince George! I've been to Prince George. It's a lovely place. Thank you for joining us from Prince George. Multiple people, I assume, yeah?
Central Interior represented.
The Central Interior, some lovely spots through there. Lovely country. I think some beautiful places out that way. 100 Mile House, I'm sure. We love it. We love it. Anywhere else? All right, I want the rest of you to chime in anytime you want. You can interrupt on the chat, and Brian will just roll with the punches with the show. I will also be asking for some participation and questions throughout the show. So if you have ideas, suggestions, answers to my questions, put them in there. Got it? Deal. Where were we? Yes, the weather. So the weather is a pretty fun thing and a beautiful thing, and sometimes a very big and dangerous thing. So there are three major factors that influence the weather. And I'm sure a lot of you know this, but it's good to cover the bases off the top. And that would be the atmosphere, the bubble of air around our Earth. So that's where the weather happens, and what happens with that air around the Earth is part of one of those factors. The sun's heat, the heat of the sun, so heat, temperature affects the weather, and water. H2O, water is a big, big influencer of the weather. In fact, it makes most weather that we get in Vancouver, in fact. And other places around the province. So I thought I would start with a demo about the water cycle, if that's great with everybody. If we'll start with that, and then you guys please challenge me by sending your suggestion of your favorite or most extreme or most interesting weather pattern, and I will do my best to bring you a demo from the year that I have set up. Fingers crossed I can succeed at this. Brian, there's something on the chat.
We have people from Surrey, from Smithers, and someone from Taiwan, where it is currently 3:30 in the morning.
Well, welcome folks from Surrey, from Smithers, and from Taiwan. 3:30 in the morning? You really have a commitment to science to be up at this hour. Nice job. All right, well, keep those coming, and we'll check in with you as it goes, and thanks for joining us from all over the world. So here we go, water cycle. A lot of us know this. We've learned this early in our science education, just at elementary school level, and that's great. But it's just good to go over some of the basics. So water comes in many forms. Liquid form is the most common. We call it water. In other forms, we call it other things. And I'm just going to pour some water into this cup, and you'll see that I have water. Some water. Water moves around the atmosphere on the planet, and that's different words happen for that. You know what they are. We're going to cover them right now just to make sure we're on the same page. So water starts in a cloud, or let's start it on the ground. Let's maybe in the ocean, and it evaporates with the heat of the sun, goes up into a cloud. It forms water droplets, and then at some point, it's too much, decides to fall. Gravity comes down to the ground, and there it is. Rain. This would be pretty heavy rain if that was coming down like that, but that does happen. And then it goes down the mountains. The precipitation goes down the energy of the gravity pulling it down back to the ocean. So the precipitation, the evaporation, the condensation, that's sort of the water cycle. And it just goes over and over and over. So it goes down the mountain, into the ocean, and then back up, evaporates into the clouds again, and then just kind of comes down again. It doesn't always, okay. So hang on. It doesn't always happen so fast and smooth as that, as you know. Like I said earlier, heat, temperature does affect the weather. If sometimes, by chance, the temperature is different up in the clouds or on the way between the top and the bottom of the atmosphere, water can change form, and it can take up different forms such as ice or snow or hail. And we can see that right here as a model. Now, that's not rain, nor is it snow. I just did a little bit of a science trick, I guess. I used some science in here in this cup to create a slightly different texture on this water. There was a chemical called sodium polyacrylate that I put inside this cup, which basically absorbed the water, creating a bit more of a slushy ball. So this is my little version of a snowball. This is, in fact, some science that we've all done, believe it or not, because this chemical is actually in the article of clothing that many of us wear as babies that absorbs baby liquids. It's called sodium polyacrylate, and yes, it is in diapers. And so there we go. I've got gross diaper insides in my hand. No, it's clean. It's good. So I'm wondering if anybody has suggested yet another favorite weather demo or anything like that that I can just roll with and jump to. Otherwise, I'm just going to go to some of my favorite go-tos and talk about the different types of weather that I like. So rain, I know you think, why do you like rain so much? But I love to think about rain as this. Some people say it's a gray day, it's overcast, it's ugly, it's rainy, especially for those of you in the rainier parts of our province, like Vancouver and Surrey and other places. Think of it this way. You don't get the green without the gray. A little positive energy for you today. Brian, any suggestions for other weather patterns? We got folks from Vancouver Island, and Brian's sending a shout out to the folks out there because he's from out there too. Well, thanks for joining us from Vancouver Island. When I travel to Vancouver Island, one of the things I notice very often is that I get on the ferry and it's very windy because, of course, the wind is channeled through the Georgia Strait from Vancouver to Vancouver Island. And wind is a really big weather pattern that I find very fascinating, as many of you did too in your projects that I noticed. You can harness that energy from the wind. Wind is air that is moving quickly, usually based on the heating by the sun or other sources of the air. And as hot air rises, of course, it creates a space that cold air fills. And so those hot and cold airs, hot and cold fronts, you hear about it on the news all the time. Hot front, or warm front coming in, cold front coming in. That's the wind. So I thought I'd do a quick demo with the wind with this lovely wind-making device. You may call it a leaf blower, and you may know it as a device that blows the leaves onto your neighbor's lawn. I like to use it as a wind-making device. So I just turn this on, and it creates wind. And creates wind, as I was saying. Wind is very powerful, and now my hair's a mess, but that's okay. This is very interesting because you can create wind on and off, but wind does not do that. But we can harness it and use it in wonderful ways, much like in your projects that I've noticed. In fact, I'm going to use it for a really fun demonstration here. I'm going to try to levitate this ball with the wind. As you notice, summer is a great time to fly a kite, and you can use that wind to keep that kite flying up in the air. I'm going to try to keep this beach ball flying up in the air. I want you to observe what's going on, and if you have any ideas of the principle at play, I'd love for you to put it in the chat. The principle at play that's keeping this ball levitated above the stream of fast-moving air. Here you go. Ready? You might want to mute your microphones if that was too loud the first time around. Here we go. Boom. Ta-da! Anybody put the Bernoulli principle in there? Because if you did, big thumbs up from me.
Got a lot of weather patterns people are like.
Ah, the weather patterns are coming in. I'm glad. It's just like it's just waiting for that weather. We do that every day. What was happening there? Fast-moving air was moving up, holding that balloon in place, even when it was on an angle, because there was a pocket of air. It's called the Bernoulli principle. If you want to know more or study or explore more about air, check out our scienceworld.ca resources page. We've got some great demos there for that. And so the wind, it pushes things around. So we can use it to fly kites, we can use it to power turbines, we can use it to all kinds of ways, in all kinds of ways. Brian, what are some science weathery things?
You've got people who like the sun.
The sun!
Yeah. You've got people who like the rain.
The rain, thanks, I checked that off, that's great.
Snow.
Snow, we did a little bit of that, that's lovely.
I'll let them know if they want to include their names, they can put that in there too.
Awesome, if you want me to do a specific shout out about one of the things that you're suggesting, say, Stefano says, I love the sun. And I'll say, thanks, Stefano, for loving the sun. Speaking of sun, I'm going to take that suggestion next because I did a little bit of rain already. So with that, the sun creates the heat. Heat generally is created by three things. Fire is usually created by three things. We call it the fire triangle. So now is a great time into the chat to enter the things that make up the fire triangle while I go on with this demonstration. Now, I'm not going to be able to bring the sun directly here into Science World because it is a flaming ball of nuclear energy that does not actually burn like normal fire, and also it's too big and too hot. So what I will do is I will create a model, smaller model, some fire, and using the fire triangle right here in my hand. So I'm going to do that. To do that, of course, I'm a trained adult, and I'm going to use my proper safety mechanisms, such as my goggles, my knowledge, my fire extinguisher, should I need it, and other various accoutrements around me, such as my baking soda here, my fire retardant blanket, etc. So I'm being very safe with fire. If anybody's giving me anything on the fire triangle, otherwise I'm just going to let you know that you need heat, you need oxygen, and you need a fuel. Those three things make the fire triangle. You take one of those things away, no longer a triangle, no longer fire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create some fire with, in my hand with a fuel, which I have conveniently placed far away over here. There it is. This is called lycopodium powder. It is a spore of a moss, and it is highly flammable. So, to that end, I want to place it on my hand. Now, many of you may be thinking at home, I'm glad I'm at home and not at Science World, because he just said he's placing a highly flammable substance on his hand. So I'm being safe at more than 6 feet distance. So what I'm going to do is explain a little bit of what's happening here. We've got our fuel, highly flammable, and I'm just going to add heat to it. So I'm going to add it with my lighter, which I've placed here. Here we go. I'm going to come right in close. If you think this is a good idea, put it in the chat. If you think this is a bad idea, put it in the chat. If you think this is a terrible idea, but you really want to see it anyway, put it in the chat. Here we go. I'm going to add heat to my fuel. There's oxygen in here at Science World, so hopefully you'll see a fireball in my hand, and hopefully I will not get burned. Here we go. Ready? So did I lie? Did I make a mistake? Making mistakes and creating hypotheses for why things are working. There's a tiny little flame happening right there. I'm just going to put it out. A little bit of smoke. So sometimes, I'm sure you've discovered this in your research practices, endeavors, especially with these science projects, that the first time you try something, it doesn't work out. Well, I want to encourage you to keep trying, because making mistakes or figuring out why something doesn't quite work is very important to science. There's no such thing as a mistake. It's an opportunity to learn, because knowing that something doesn't work is part of the equation. And I know you know that, but I just want to encourage how great that is for you to do that. So what's missing from this equation is the oxygen. Though it is here in the room, it is not between the thin particles of this lycopodium powder. So what I need to do is spread out the powder so that air and oxygen can get inside. I will do that by moving my hand quickly and hoping that this works and creates a beautiful fireball. If it works, I will hope for some respect, some appreciation on the chat. Would be nice. All right, I need to light it with my lighter, which I've conveniently put out of range. There we go. Fire extinguisher, goggles, ponytail, we're good. Ponytail's still there, right? Yeah, good. All right, now I'm going to spread out the fire, making the three elements of the fire triangle come together. Here we go. Ready, set. Move this one here. Let me get this one. Fire! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, the reason that didn't burn my hand, if you're out there wondering, is because the fire didn't happen on my hand. It happened in front and near my hand. So that's why it was safe, and that's why I didn't get hurt, and that's why I kind of look like Super Mario when he eats the flowers in the 8-bit version. All right.
There's more people visiting us.
Who is visiting us, and where are they visiting us from?
Someone says they're in Russia, but they also have a wink emoji, so I believe them.
Russia, but with a wink emoji. I am so perplexed, but I'm glad we've got fantastic folks joining us, potentially with a wink emoji from Russia.
We have Emery from Fort St. John.
Emery, are you Emery that did Here Comes the Sun from Fort St. John? Because if you are, that's fantastic.
Emery's interested in hail.
Oh, Emery was wanting to know about hail.
Someone else was pointing out the Bernoulli principle you were doing before also comes up with aerodynamics.
Wonderful. I'm loving the stuff that you guys are putting in the chat. I want to encourage that also because it's stuff that you guys can communicate with each other about all the stuff that you know, and I encourage that because the stuff that you're doing today, yesterday, tomorrow is the science world of today, yesterday, and tomorrow. You guys are it. You guys are the future. I want to say what a great job you're doing. About hail, I just want to address that I don't have too much time in today's show to break down the difference. But when the temperature is different up in the sky, that's going to affect how the water changes state from liquid to gas to solid. And I encourage you to look some of that up. There's so much out there. Or to look to one of your mentors. But thank you for being excited about hail. It's fascinating. Yes, Brian?
People interested in thunder and lightning.
I'm so glad you brought up thunder and lightning. So thunder and lightning is one of my favorite types of weather because it's so dramatic. So up in the clouds, you've got all these particles of dust, and you've got clouds building up a static charge. Basically, static electricity gets built up in the upper layers of the atmosphere in these clouds, and things are rubbing together, much like when you rub a balloon on your head, and it creates static. It's electrons moving around, because an electron is obviously going around the atom, and they can move from thing to thing. So when you have too many and the electrical charge is too great, electrons wanting to repel go down to the Earth and spread out onto the Earth because that's the largest thing they can spread out on. Thing is this, I would like to postpone doing a demo about this till 2:20 p.m. And you're like, Stefano, this is going to be done by then. Here's the deal. At 2:20 today, we're very coincidentally, we're going to be doing a Facebook live stream on Science World CA's Facebook page. And Brian Anderson, this gentleman right here, is going to be doing the electricity show. And we're going to be joined by our partners at BC Hydro. So we're going to do some electricity demos at that show. And we would use the static electric, Van de Graaff static electric generator for that demo. And so I encourage you to watch that. And if you can't watch it today at 2:20, just check back with our website, our YouTube channel, or our Facebook page a little later. And that show will also be there for you to watch and explore that thunder and lightning. But I want to tell you one really cool thing. With thunder and lightning, that sound you hear, so the electrical energy of going from the clouds down to the Earth, we've got sound energy and light energy. And what's kind of happening there is that when the electricity is going through the air, it's ripping air molecules apart and snapping them back together. And if you can do that at home, you just rip it open and snap it back together, you hear a snap crack like that. But when you multiply that by how big and how many air molecules are happening in a thunderstorm, that's that that you're hearing. And also the really cool thing is that sound travels differently at different speeds than light. That's why you never see those two things happening at the same time. You can measure sort of how far away a lightning storm is by the time difference between the lightning strike and the thunder roll. Cool stuff there, cool stuff. Awesome. Anything else, Brian, or should I just kind of jump to a next demo? Awesome. I got something cool to show you. I'm dying to show you. In those clouds with thunder and lightning, we've got clouds. That's sort of the key point for a lot of this. Again, water is present as water vapor in our atmosphere constantly. It just moves around our atmosphere, right? So I'm going to actually create a cloud in this bottle right here. I'm just going to create a little atmosphere here. I'm going to change the pressure and temperature very quickly, creating an inversion, creating a chance for those droplets of water to get trapped into a cloud. And then hopefully that will succeed, because it doesn't always work, but hopefully. Fingers crossed. Cross your fingers for me. I'm going to need my bicycle pump. And this is something theoretically you could try at home. It works with water, but it's tricky because you're going to want to wear all your safety precautions like your goggles, because you're going to be increasing the pressure inside this bottle. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my goggles on. And because, of course, I'm increasing the pressure, I don't want this bottle to explode. So I've got my pump, and I've got some liquids in here already. I've got some isopropanol, which evaporates a little faster. I'm going to try it once as is, and if I need to add more, I will. I want you to just watch very carefully here as here we go. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. As I increase the pressure, which happens, of course, as you go to different levels in our atmosphere, what's inside the bottle, which is air, is going to be affected differently. And when I release it quickly, the air will rush in. There'll be molecules will be rubbing together and creating a very poor cloud. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to add some more isopropyl. Hi, Harold. How are you doing? I hope you're enjoying the show so far.
Harold is joining us from Canada.
Harold, you came all the way from Canada? Nice. You really went the distance for us here today. I mean, really, theoretically, we got Russia, Taiwan, was it? And Canada. This is an international event. So I'm actually just shaking up some of the isopropyl so it evaporates better, and it gives an opportunity for the dust particles that are naturally present in the air to kind of attach to themselves to something. Here we go. We're going to create a cloud in a bottle. I hope. Come on, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There it is. There's my cloud. I shall name him Harold, after Harold from Canada. Harold, you are trapped in my bottle. No, let me out. No, Harold, you will always be here. You are ever present, as water vapor is ever present in our atmosphere. But I don't want to be in the show. I'm very nervous. It's okay, Harold. I have a way. You can hide. You can hide. I'm going to change the pressure and make you disappear. Are you ready, Harold? I'm ready. It makes you regret that you put your name in the chat, isn't it? All right, here we go. I'm going to pump it, and you just watch. I'm going to do it this way. Ready? Oh, Harold just Harold's disappearing. So as I increase the pressure, sort of changing the state of that water vapor, and then I can bring them back. Harold, you're ever present here at Science World. Oh, neat. Getting some fun fog coming out of here. Fog is actually just clouds, but in the fall when there's a change in temperature, it's just there in the morning, and then the sun comes in, heats it up, changes it, goes back hiding up in the stars. Clouds, wherever you want it to be. Brian says there's some more things happening in the chat. I would like to know what's going down.
We had someone who was interested in tornadoes.
Tornadoes, you say? Ooh, my favorite. Okay. How much time do we have left? Jeff, Brian? Hello?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? All right. Here's the deal. Tornadoes is one of my favorites. So I'm going to take the cloud demo we just did and transition my way to tornadoes and see if we can do sort of like a big old-fashioned linked weather things, because this is the thing. All the weather is tied together. One thing affects the other, affects the other, affects the other. So that effect of having one piece of weather being, unique in itself, it's not. One thing affects the other. So wind uses clouds. The clouds hold water, creates the rain. We've got tornadoes. So if it works, I'm just going to, yes, it works. Just going to get some air. So my cloud in the bottle, Harold is doing just fine over here. But I've got a fog machine because I'm going to need a little bit more cloud here. So I've used a run-of-the-mill special effects fog machine that is just harmless car exhaust. I'm kidding. And here's what I'm going to do. I filled this air cannon with this fog. I would like to shoot it at you. So just cover yourselves. Here we go. I'm going to shoot some air at you. You're going to see what happens. When I pull back this lever, it pulls the air in, and then here we go. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. You guys see that? All right, I'll do it one more time. So what's happening here is our fog is moving in a fun, fancy way. Now, you mentioned tornadoes, and they go spinning circles and circles and round and round. That's the science way to say it. And here's what I'm going to show you again one more time. I'm just going to check that out. Boom. 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 So if you see the shape that is. Now, if you know what that shape is, please put it in Slido in the chat, because I want to hear it. Now, some of you may say circle. Some of you may say disc. Some of you may say donut, which is my favorite. And some of you may say toroidal vortex. If you look very carefully, it's actually turning in a circle, but it's turning in on itself, a vortex, and toroid being the disc, the donut shape. So toroidal vortex is the name of how that air moves. And air tends to travel in the easiest way possible. So it wants to, not to be lazy, but just to be efficient, travel in the easiest way possible. So when these winds come together, or they come through an air cannon, it's just going to move in a natural way. I'm going to do a quick demo here and see if it works. I'm going to try to see if I can make it go square. There we go. I'm going to make a square opening on the end of this. You can see that. There's my square opening. And circle. There you go. So that's not working. So even though it's coming out of a square opening, air is still traveling in a circle. Now that's not tornado. It's not, although it is turning in circles like a similar type shape as a tornado would. So shall we get on to the tornadoes? Nobody? Nobody? Oh, you're at home. Yes. Okay. Let's get to tornadoes. Let's clear the air first a little bit. It's gonna. I should just use the science I have at my fingertips here. I should just do the old. There we go. We're good. All right. So we wanted tornadoes. Right now is a great time to put in the chat, what things do you see in a tornado? Describe the tornado. What are the elements of description? What is in a tornado? What is in it? It's wind that's moving, but we see something. So what are we seeing? What are we seeing in a tornado? Put that in Slido, please. I'm going to get my stuff together here, and I'm going to need some protective equipment again. Because what I'm going to do is I've got this great little platform here that spins. Tornadoes are moving air in a circular method or motion when, of course, warm and cold air come together and they meet, and the warm air rises, and therefore pulling up and turning. So here I'm going to turn some air here with this turntable. It's just an invisible tornado, which you may not be impressed with whatsoever. Okay. So that's not really that interesting. And that's why I'm asking you for what's in it, because I need to put something in it. So while I'm waiting for those responses, I'm going to put something in it myself. I am going to put fire in my tornado. That's a good idea, right? Now, fire tornado is not traditionally a type of weather pattern we see every day, thankfully. But that's the punctuation with the fog machine back there. I swear it was a fog machine. And what you may know, though, especially for those of you joining us in Prince George, that fire tornadoes are very serious in places where there is high forestation and forest fires. Because a fire tornado is sort of a weather pattern that can happen sometimes within a forest fire. In fact, there's some amazing videos online of very brave firefighters trying to put out a fire tornado, and it's pretty humbling, to say the least. So a fire tornado is very powerful. It's moving in a circle, and it's always drawing up more air, and that air fuels the fire. It creates more better burning fire by adding air. So it's tricky. So thank you for those firefighters who are out doing that work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to light this on fire. I'm going to turn the table, and I've got some answers from folks in the chat before I do this I've got something to say, so I'm going to check in with that. And then we're going to see a fire tornado. Now, what are some of the things that folks are telling me on the chat, Brian?
In a tornado, you will find air.
You will find air. Very well said.
Cars.
Yes, a car in a tornado means that is, stay away. That is a strong tornado. In fact, yes, it's strong enough to pick up objects such as cars, cows. My heart goes out to the cows. The farmers and the firefighters really got to work together here because make sure to keep them grounded, right?
Someone else has said you will find stuff.
Stuff, very good. Stuff is very common. Stuff, specifically dust and the particles like dirt and dust that are getting picked up. That's often why tornadoes are sort of gray or brown. It's picking up dust. So you see a gray or brown spotted with cars and cows is what you're going to see. And today's is going to be fire. I should probably turn off that fog machine. It's good. All right, ready for a fire tornado? Here we go. I've got my goggles on. I've got my baking soda to potentially put out my fire if need be. I've got all my safety things and precautions. Everything's nice and clear so you can see my stage. Here we go. Fire gloves on. Turning on my fire with my lighter, which I have placed somewhere. There's the things. I have a good workshop here. All right. Okay, ready? Fire. Fire. We need to zoom in, Brian. We need to get in here. We've got to see the drama. Thank you. So kind. We got fire and fire tornado. Not the fire tornado I was hoping for. All right, let's try again. Let's remove one of the elements of the fire triangle, and that would be removing the oxygen. Therefore, no more fire. Just note, that was a liquid fuel, so I would not want to pour water on it, because when you do that, that fuel would float on the water, creating a fire lake. We're looking for a fire tornado. Why didn't that work? I know I can ask you, and I'm hoping you can get those chats in really fast, how I can make that better, how I can make this fire tornado actually look more like a fire tornado rather than a fire turning on a record player situation. I'm hoping for that. So while you tell me ways that you think, all your great minds at work, I can make this work better, I'm going to say a couple last words and thank a few people while I wait for those answers. Now, all the mentors, all the participants, all the organizers for the science fairs, all the folks at the Science Fair Foundation work very hard, especially at this time currently where it's really tricky and doing this virtually. So a really big thanks to all of you for participating, for making it possible, and it's just great. I just want to say how proud we are at Science World to be able to be a part of this closing ceremonies, and we hope that you've really enjoyed yourselves today, and we hope that you watch this later and go use this as a launch pad today as a launch pad to go forward and do stuff. In fact, I wanted to say to Emily, the RMC, our fantastic MC, congratulations on your admission to UBC Medicine. That's fantastic. Here we are today doing this, and tomorrow we're going to be doing more great things. So thank you to all of you. And also thank you to people that are making this possible throughout the year, and that includes people like Windsor Plywood that are helping us be here today and generally around the province. And also to folks like BC Hydro, which is going to be a partner with the electricity show that, if you remember, you're going to watch at 2:20 today on the Facebook stream, because there's going to be some answers to the and some demos around the electricity, thunder, and lightning. So just lots of love all around. Now that I've said that, I would like to know if anybody has any solutions for me, because sometimes you're making a demonstration and you want to make it actually good, not just interesting.
Someone has a suggestion: put the fire all over the disc, not just in the little lane in the middle.
Great suggestion. So that's my only suggestion. I want to cover them all at the same time. That's all I got? All right. The suggestion, of course, was to put the fire all over the place, not just in the middle. This would create a situation where we have a larger version of this fire that is spinning in a circle. But I like where you're going with this. You're wanting to spread it out this way, and I want to spread it out this way. And instead of using the fuel to spread it out this way, I'm going to try to use the air, the other element that we're dealing with weather, to bring it up this way. To do that, I'm going to take this cage and place it on top. When I do that, oh, Brian said something. I think he had a chuckle. Something funny got said. What is it?
Well, there's two actually. Spin faster.
Spin faster. Great.
Add some pigs and cows.
I love you all. I love you all so much. I love it. Add some pigs and cows. I wish I had pigs and at least models of pigs and cows to add to this. Would be very entertaining. I might have to look at that for future demonstrations. So spin it faster. I can do that. So we can test that out. I'm all about testing theories when they are safe. Adding more out this way, I don't feel safe about that today, having never tried that before. So I'm not going to try that one just today yet. But I can spin it faster. Let's do this again. Starting on my fire. Thank you for that suggestion. We got fire, spinning, faster. It's a good suggestion. Not too much of a difference in our success factor with the specific fire tornado goal in mind. Again, putting out my fire, safety first. Do not need to accidentally do one of these. All right. Spinning it faster did something. It's moved the fire in a circle faster, but we're just moving the physical fire. What we need to do is move the air around it, because those three things coming together, the air, the fuel, and the heat, need to join. And wind, we mentioned earlier, that was in the clouds, which is all over the atmosphere, which is part of the weather, is going to help us. This cage will trap some of that air inside. It will spin it in a circle, creating a bit more of a confined area, and therefore, and also drawing in some air this way with high and low pressure happening. So hopefully, big finale here, we're going to get a fire tornado. Now's the chance, if you have any questions about the show or stuff that has come up prior up to now, to put them in the chat. So as soon as this demo is over, I'm going to take a couple questions if you have them, and if not, I'm going to send you back to Emily to do a final wrap up. So don't go anywhere, even though this is going to be the coolest thing in the next within the last 5 minutes at least. All right, here we go. Fire, gonna fuel. We had in there. The fire is a bit spinning here. Gonna put this thing on top, makes it safe, and then ready, set. Zoom. Oh, nice zoom in. Yeah, that'll be good, Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be presenting for you my fire tornado. Fire tornado. So what's happening here is the air's coming in, it's joining, it's being lifted up, it's warming up that air, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's just beautiful. Of course, we want to be nice and safe and not run it too long, because also you have things to do today. So thank you very much, everyone, for your participation in this today. I would like to leave you with a candle of inspiration, burning constantly. Never quit. Keep doing what you're doing, because you are the scientists of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and I really, really hope we get to run into each other in the future. Now, any questions?
Yeah, so I was wondering, how do you get high and low pressure for the tornado?
How do I get high and low pressure for the tornado? Great question. So in the natural spinning motion of that tornado, with the air trapped inside here, what's happening is that it's spinning the air that's already trapped in it. That air is being warmed up by the flame, therefore rising, therefore creating space at the bottom of the fire base for regular cold air that's just in the building to enter through this cage. Because if this was a closed circuit, so if this was not a cage, it wouldn't work the same way. So we've kind of constantly got a flow of air coming in. Same principle in a campfire, where you leave a little bit of space at the bottom of your teepee when you're making a campfire or whatever structure you use, so the air can flow in and give more efficiency to that fire. I hope I answered that right.
A couple of comments. You're awesome, great scientist. We're so proud of your tornado. And one final suggestion for how you could have made the fire tornado: Photoshop.
You guys are the best. Thank you for the compliments. And thank you for the suggestion of photoshopping my fire tornado. It's true, virtually, this could all be special effects. It's just CGI, folks. I'm kidding, it's not. It's just Science World fun. And we really hope to get together with you here at Science World in the near future and all around the province with our outreach programs. Keep doing what you're doing, really. Thank you. It's so inspiring. Your projects are amazing. Emily, I'm passing it back to you. Enjoy, take care of these great folks, and thank you so much for including us in your day.
Thank you guys so much. Just a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Science World for all of their support, to Stefano and Brian and Jeff. You guys put on an incredible show. Thank you so much. It was amazing. I myself was blown away by your fire tornado. They're right. You did look very, very proud of it. So just some final remarks, just some final notes. I'm going to share my last slide of my award presentation. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. Thank you for working on your projects and being amazing scientists. We are so excited to see you guys next year at GVRSF in person, hopefully. And I just want to say congratulations. Thank you so much. Feel free to reach out. We're always here to answer questions and continue to support you guys throughout your scientific journey. as they said, don't stop. Don't stop exploring. Don't stop your science. Don't stop going. You guys are amazing, and you guys are going to go into some really, really cool fields, and I'm so excited to see where all of you guys go in the end. So one last time, thank you guys, and congratulations to everybody. Having great, great summer, and hopefully see you next year. Congratulations, guys. Bye.